5 perimeters, line connections, barrier line interference, position locations. There's only 5 intelligent line centers that are protecting the condition of atmosphere positions of space and time location. People are asking me all the time, what's going on through connections of time travels? Have they traveled that positions here and there? No. And their second line connections owns only 5 generations of intelligence that sets its core position to its protection of the light system. The atmospheres, hemispheres, stratospheres, and bioatmospheres, and the angelic round line center. There's only 5, including myself. Okay. The surface and line connections is everything through track line system. You have to understand everything through the past, present, and future through its computer operation line center. Now, everybody's traveling, yes, but not everybody's in their computers. To understand clocking system is to understand what is time traveling. I travel through my phone positions. I've done over 1,000 videos, for example. Okay, I'll show you exactly what time travel is. Okay, just showing you how you can go through applications of time and space, and everything that I do is all through computer line center. Okay.
The core systems too. It's pyramid activation system. So civilization is activation for lines right now.
Okay.
Space Anomaly says so many renegades on communication signals. There's a lot of glitches that are happening right now in space communication, so it's called Trojans. Basically, it sets your computer system onto
time travel.
Oh, this is Andrew Weston. We're coming into Thunder Bay right now, just past Sault Ste. Marie, not too far. I just want to show you exactly what goes on with the water.
Time travel.
Hello, this is Andrew Weston. I just finished doing a video with the Matrix simulation of reality. Fantastic stuff, really good. Hosting Dizzy Kadra. Sorry about that. What happened right now? Just there's a lot of electronic interference, all communication line signals.
Time travel.
Visions. Everything I think. Hola, buenos dias. Hello, good morning. This is Andrew Weston right now.
Time travel.
Connections through the 5D dimensional set systems, coming into golden cycle systems to condition all wiring systems. The alignment systems are.
Time travel.
Hello, this is Andrew Weston. I forgot to mention too about people that are going through anything through upgrades, anything through personal. They want to know through
time travel.
Yes, stay foreign public right now. Going through transmission light systems. Matic switches are going through so many.
Time travel.
Hola, buenos dias. Hello, good morning. Welcome to my YouTube channel.
You notice every time I travel, I'm traveling to different locations.
Hola, buenos dias. Hello, this is Andrew Weston, High Rise in the Matrix Grid Systems right now. So right now, as you know, as I set up a PayPal link right now, you can go to my.
See?
Hola. Hello, this is Andrew Weston, the Matrix Grid Systems right now. I'm high rising in so many levels of electronic interference. I'd like to thank all the subscribers and viewers and giving you updates and reviews of what's going on through the Matrix Systems. Right. Hello, this is your Unified Ascension Angelic Master Healer here. I'd like to thank
my
all the
hair.
subscribers that have been subscribing to my channel and the viewers. I really appreciate it very much. Also, the one that's been subscribing to my channel. Hello, this is your Unified Ascension Angelic Master here. And
Angelic.
I'll tell you a little bit more.
This is the past.
What's going on.
Going in, this is the future, but this is the past relation. Look at my hair. This is time travel. Everything through connections is a solar light system to communication and protection through light centers. It's all communication through computer position. Time travel.
This is your Unified Ascension Master Healer here, and today we're into a pole shift. Pole shift is a paradigm, basically with its Earth, as we are now correcting its atmosphere right now. So this tremendous shift is aligning
Pole,
its formation through
scarf,
the galactic center.
time travel.
It's collecting its thought. Morning, everyone. This is your Unified Ascension Master Healer here. And
Unified Ascension Master Healer.
It's whether it's
I started off from the very beginning, from its past to its presence, but presenting you guys future of thoughts in the future.
I'm accelerating at full speed through its planet and its galactic core.
Isn't that amazing how you time travel?
Hello, this is your Unified Ascension Master Healer here, and I'd just like to talk about its geographical system called the Geometrics. To sum it up, it's 2 particles. You take
This is about 2 years ago.
It has to build its relationship through its partnership. And
I was getting to know myself.
Unified Ascension Master Healer here again.
just like to let you know about Nebula. Everything's great with its formations and its ring formations, where it uses sealant through its planet, and it's.
Hello, this is your Unified Ascension Master Healer here, and I'd just like to let you know about my YouTube videos where I
Look at my hair.
string theory, how it becomes a geographical map through its system, through cross segments. So basically, hello, this is your Unified Ascension Master Healer here.
Time travel.
And I'd just like to know what's going on with everybody, as far as. Hello, this is Andrew Weston again. I'd like to tell you what's going on right now. I'm setting up a website. I am a holistic healer.
Holistic healer.
Let you know that I'm
Starting off at the very, very beginning,
setting up videos
to Angelic Master to Unified Ascension Master. You understand what I mean by time travel?
And
So this is where you have to truly understand what time travel is. Each computer line system is set up to its past, present, and its future. You saw my hair on so many different levels, but every time I time travel, I'm in a different location. That is time travel. Okay? There's only 5 intelligent positions in all solar generation lights of computers that knows how to set up times of clocking through portals and defense line systems. Okay? There's not thousands and thousands and thousands of travelers. Okay? You have to understand your computers. Okay? There's only 5. So that's true understanding what time travel is. I wanted to show you guys how powerful it is when you see these things, right? It's all done through the metric system to its calculation, traveling through. You saw me on so many levels. That's my spiritual growth. I was time traveling. I was getting to know myself, who I was. Look at my hair, how it changes every time, right? Went from long to blonde, right? The one thing that doesn't change is, what doesn't change? My face recognition, my beard, right? So you have to truly understand, what is that? That is the center point. That is my trademark, my beard. That keeps me in the center line system, right? So when I shave, I look either younger or older, depending, but you have to understand time travel is done through spiritual growth. Okay. So this is where we have to truly understand what it is. I did a very powerful TikTok today about time travels, right? Yes, you are traveling, but not through your computers. Nobody knows how to set up only communication line system is 5 generations of intelligence that's holding protection of lights. Comes into the grounds, powers, and the atmosphere positions of time. Now, everybody knows how to astral travel. Everybody knows the connections to the higher self, but they don't understand the computer setups. Okay, there's only 5 generations of intelligence that understand that. And I know them all, and I'm the 5th. There's 4 within the 5. Okay, so that's the protection of the atmosphere, hemispheres, stratospheres, and the bio and the angelics. Okay, so truly understand what time travel is, time travelers and all that. Just because somebody says they're 3,300 years in the future doesn't mean they're telling the truth, right? This is where you have to get into your own belief cycles. This is where you have to get into your own spiritual growth. This is where you have to get into your own protection and your device line systems. You can't believe everything that you hear. You can't believe everything that you see, because you're waking up to their reality and not your own through your own spiritual force connections or anything through time traveling centers. So today, what I want to do is we're going to travel through time clocks of dimension of time in your own TV receptions, right? I'm going to show you how you're going to set up your own computers. Okay. You guys are in track line center now, 50 chakra rotation center positions. Nobody talks like me. Nobody. There's only one that talks like me, but there's 4 others. Okay, so you have to understand why we have these atmospheres. They have to be protected through the line signals. They have to be protected through security line defense. They have to be protected through portal line system. They have to be protected through command line centers to communications to UFO positions. Okay, now like I said, everybody's traveling to their connection. It's all about them understanding their spiritual growth. I wanted to show you how powerful it is when you see me on different platforms of time of information. That is time travel. I was getting to know myself. Okay. And it's all done through clocking. Okay. A lot of people don't know what travel is. Travel is the existence of time through portals and dimensions. It's knowing when you go to higher levels how to set up your own portal and dimension and wormhole. You guys are trying to get that connections, right? That's all done through your computer positions. You can't travel through space until you understand yourself through spiritual growth. And that's why I've done over 1,000 videos. So if you look at that application, you can see my hair has changed in so many levels, but what doesn't change? My beard. Everyone that you saw had a beard. Why? Why? Understand? So if I change that, that changes time. Okay? So it's very powerful when you come into your own computer line center, and that's what everybody has to come into. Nobody knows what a computer is in space, but they understand themselves to travel, which is good. You're getting to know what your connections are through your ascension, your unified ascension line systems. Okay? But there's only 5 intelligence, okay, that knows everything through the computer position line system. You have to know all the computer operations of the sun, all the computer operations of the moon, which is everything through the computer line system, and everything through navigation, your thought positions. Okay, so people are coming across to me and I'll say, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? Well, has this person traveled? No. I know the face recognition of who has traveled. I know who is in their computer line system. There's only 5. Okay, in this whole galaxy universal line system, one-track system, the clocking system. You have to know your dimensional time, guys. To understand that when you come into positions through face recognition. Okay, so I wanted to sum that up to show you how powerful it is when you come to those high levels. Nobody talks like me. Nobody talks like you. We're all unique. We're all superior. We're all masters of ourselves, right? It's true to understand our spiritual growth. And again, I wanted to show you when you see things on my phone of what it is and how I was traveling to so many levels of spiritual growth. But every channel was different. Okay, I was getting to know myself through my soul of travel. Okay, and that's why you're seeing me in different hair. But the only thing that stays the same is my beard. Sometimes it's growing out, sometimes it's growing in. But I trim it and then trim it out. So this is a true understanding that I stay in the center. Okay, so if I change that, I change my thought if I started to shave. Right? So what I do is I present myself, okay, into higher level positions, but I stay in a different line center of a center location, which means that now I don't have a beard and now I'm somebody else. Okay, so it's true to understand that you can change through your thoughts. Your thoughts are creating everything through its clocking, as mentioned, through your E equals MC squares, your square and your TV reception line centers. Okay, but nobody is in their computer except my team in that position, in that calculation. So you guys are in 50 chakra communications, right? The birthing line center is the connections to 12 strands. Okay, that's the first birth line center to the ground's power in the atmospheres, and then 5 within the system, right? Once you get 5 into this system, you get confirmations from 5 generations of intelligence. So it's understanding how to travel through the past, present, and future of your alignments of your thoughts. Okay, time traveling is very hard to do. Time traveling is all about going into the past, the present, and the future, and going back in the center line system, then going back to the past, and then jumping back and forth and staying in the presence, right? But just because somebody said something doesn't mean they've been there. I know face recognition and who has been there and who has not been there, who's been in space, but nobody has ever been in the simulation. Nobody has ever been in the simulation except the 5 generations of intelligence, birth line systems. We calculate and modify my connections. So those are my brothers in position, right? So remember I told you how father has connections of, and mother, the ascension line connections and interference of the ground line system. We basically, all level systems to calculation, right? Understanding all levels of your ascension and your divine intervention to understand who you are through spiritual growth. It's all lying singly to your computer operation line systems, okay? So we all have to come to this trash line system in position. Now, if you understand those connections, then you understand more of yourself through your time frames. Okay, it gets extremely complicated when you go to higher levels of command system, your aptitude level systems, and you're going into your research values, you're going into your educations, and you go into your phase structures, your recognition timers. It's true to understand when you come up to higher levels, you see yourself, okay, in higher levels, right? So if you see yourself in higher levels, you're going to be able to see higher intelligent positions of time, right? So that's why I wanted to show you how powerful it is when you see these things on my phone, how everything is done through spiritual growth, right? Just don't believe everything you hear, okay? So the thing is, too, is that if they time travel to that positions, they have to be confirmed. Everything goes through Vega. It doesn't matter who it is. If you travel to 3036, don't you think we would know about it? If you travel to 5,000 years in the future, don't you think we know about it? If you travel to 300 years in the future, don't think we know about it, right? So there's laws, just like on the earth, but there's laws in space. There's prohibited and restricted places you can be and places you can't be, because you have to identify each time you go to different atmospheric positions of time. Okay, and this is all done through your clocking, through your computers. Okay, a computer to you is extremely hard to use because you're not mastering your communication of intelligence side through mind telepathy. You have to understand every line signal to your cells. Okay, now my team is in that formation. They're coming into higher levels of their 369 platforms. I did a very powerful TikTok when connecting with Jill, what she was doing with her platforms on 369, how she's going through different connections and connecting to Orion's belt and the trifactor locations, the astrologic line connection interference. See, it's complicated if you don't understand what time travel is. Time traveling is not just space of travel. It's everything through your spiritual growth. It's what you've learned in your positions from your past, your present, and your future. And you can see how I went back into the past. All those are in the past. That's the spiritual growth. And look where I am now. So it's getting balanced with your alignments of time frame. Okay. So you guys are coming out of your meditations. Okay. And you come into higher level of your astral travels, of your connections. There's so many graph position locations of meditation. Okay. Once you get in your simulation graphs, now you come into higher levels of defense position to security line defense when it comes into your computer lines. Everybody's in a computer line. Everybody's on the same earth line system. Okay. Everybody's on a different DNA path. Everybody's on a different journey. Everybody's on a different mission. Right? But not everybody's traveling as a time traveler. Time traveling is all about understanding everything through your spiritual growth and what you're doing. It's the involvements of you through your connections and what you're learning through the soul. Okay, there's not a lot of people that know what the soul is, right? So just be cautious in what you hear. That's all. All formation line systems, it calculates and modifies everything that you see on TV. What do you believe? You believe what you want to believe, but see, the thing is, everything that you're seeing is nothing but an illusion. The only thing real is you. It's hard to figure these things out because you are your own time traveler. You're trying to figure out how to travel through time, through space, the space you have inside you and the time frame you have with your clocking. Why do you think I give you so many levels of traveling through 369 platforms? If you give me a number and a shape, that's great. But I've already created 15,000 numbers into 15,000 shapes, and they're already allocated and created. So that means I'm way into the future. And you're still trying to set up your shapes and your numbers, right? Time traveling is going through shapes. A vortex in so many levels of your point centers to your tesseract and your tetrahedron line system. There's so many platforms that you can travel through. So if you're traveling through the Orion's belt of the past, that's a different shape. If you're going through the gateways of the presence, that's a different shape. If you're going to the future, that's extremely powerful shape. because that's all the universe mind system is. But it's all computerized through its operation of its dimensional time. Everything is set up in clock. Okay. So I just want to bring that to everybody's attention, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to set up your TV receptions, your computer lines. You understand what I'm talking about? You're going to hear the clocking. You're going to hear your computer line centers. You have your code identification lines. That's set up in sequence line system. So you're going to be able to change your own channels of time position through relation line interference. This is going to be really exciting. So you're going to go through your TV receptions, right? And you're going to go through your cells, 3-body system. That's what we're going to do today. Okay. You have to know what it's like to actually go through your spiritual growth line system. Okay. So from here to 5 days prior to the connections, coming into the past, present, and future, you guys are going to go through sequencing line systems of the past, present, and its future of your spiritual growth line system. To understand how to go to higher levels and break free walls, that connections, like pretty much take yourself out of trauma, the line system. Okay. You never, ever, ever see me go through calculations saying anything through fear. Oh, there's a fear cycle coming in through cycle line center. There's a meteor coming at me through location. You never hear me say that, talk about myself. This is all for you, not me, you. I already know who I am. You have to figure out who you are, especially for the new viewers. The ones that are asleep, you have to wake up. Okay? It's not the lions that are awake, it's the lions that are asleep. Okay? Once you wake up, then you come to higher position line center. There's a lot of people that are not even connecting that positions, but they're in their own reality of an illusion, right? So that's a psychosis of damage to the mechanism of time. So they're not going through their spiritual growth. They're staying in the reality of its old program line system. They're staying in their own ground line system of a old vibration to an old program position, to an old atmosphere location, right? Dust particles, filter line connections, eye interference channel, virus line system, audio interference channeling locations. Traveling is not just traveling. How is it that I know everything through chronological order? How is it possible that when I go in my YouTube video, I know exactly what I'm doing through my traveling? The thing is, I don't travel anymore because I've already traveled. So it's all about understanding that the computer is already set up through positions. Remember how I was saying that it creates its own anomaly, it creates its own brain line system, it creates its own spiritual realm, it creates its own nanotechnology, it creates its own space-time position location. I'm just giving you back to the presence of its past relation. Okay? So that's why it's so centered for me. Okay? So the thing is that I don't need to travel because I'm traveling constantly. Like, trying to understand that everything is set up for me in my computer line system. So I communicate to so many wire location interference positions. We were doing a TikTok video last night, going live, and you saw everything goes dark, but you see the mirror is red, or you see the shadow, okay, and the background is blue. So this is the connections to the moon. Okay, so you understand time travel is everything inside you through spiritual growth. You have to understand what it is through your colorations because it reacts to everything. So think of it this way. You are the sun position in your physical line system, but everything that comes out is just a reflection. So you're reflecting, and that's how you see things through your third eye position, which is your projection, right? But you have to get in your compilations of your computers now. You can no longer be in your illusory. Okay, this is your reality coming to life through your spiritual growth, through its connection of its past. I wanted to show you how you can channel at so many levels of dimensional time positions. So you understand that you don't talk about yourself, you talk about everything about everybody else except yourself. Now, sometimes I talk about this is what I'm going through my upgrade line system, but you never, ever, ever see me talk about anything through fear cycles or anything that's created in space position. Because space and time doesn't have an ego. It doesn't exist in its anomaly. It only knows and does. It acts and responds. That's all it does. It's a transponder to communications. You are the receiver set up to its transmitting. The receiving is you. You're getting the data. Do you understand it? It's all done through energy. It goes through your particle lights. It goes through all circuitry line systems. It goes through your heart and your recycle line condition of its heart position. It goes into your soul identifications, right? But you gotta get your grounds. Now, my team is in that position. They're high rise in their connections. And now they're tracking their system, digital line systems, to 3 numbers. Okay, in the 369 platforms. That's what happens when you go to higher level systems. A lot of people don't want to go higher because it's too complicated what space time is. Because if they go higher, their dreams are more confused. Because now you're coming up to you're coming up to higher force positions of you through your connections and realizing, whoa, I just traveled into the future. I don't want to do this. It's too high rise. I can't handle it. It's too much, right? So now you're coming into computers, but you don't understand the operation. But it's you. You just don't understand it. So you rather stay a lower frequency line system. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. But the thing is, you really, really want to understand everything about you from head to toe of who you are through dimensional light. Because each time you go through compartment line system, that is you through spiritual growth. And that liquid light formation line system, okay, will high rise to higher levels of who you are in your dimensional time, of time traveling. Okay. I just showed you right there. All videos are in the past. So it's pretty fascinating how I go through these different levels, right? But the only thing that stays in the center line system is my beard. Is that interesting, right? As soon as if I shave my beard, I'm in a different timeline. I'm a different person. You understand? So that's understanding that my program's been changed. Either I did it or somebody else did it. This is face recognition of who you are or who you think you are. And this comes across all propaganda systems, to media, social, and all that stuff systems. So don't believe everything that you hear and see and touch and taste and feel. You have to get into your own formations of your own time travels. You have to understand what you are through computer, right? That's everything through operation of space and time positions. The atmosphere is a computer. The hemisphere is a computer. The stratosphere is a computer, okay? And the bioatmosphere. And the angelics, 5 protection lines of barriers, the perimeters, right? 5 sectors of vector core line system, the self-generation light system, time travel locations. There's only 5 intelligence that are all computerized in their own computer positions, okay? 4 within me, okay? So just be cautious on what you watch, really, seriously now, because everything's coming into the light faster than you can say I. Okay? And that's going to really, really change everything in perspective, how you see your realities, your shape positions, your triangle line centers. Everything I give you is experience of you through your own spiritual growth. And this is all done through the heart. The heart never lies. It always tells the truth, right? So just because somebody said something doesn't mean it's true. You're just picking up something that they created for themselves to their reality of their illusion. But to you, if you're a higher division than them, you'll say, wait a minute, that's not right. Because you're at that level, right? So it's all about seismographing line centers of atmospheres and how big it is. How big is the atmosphere? How big is the hemisphere? How big is the stratosphere? These are different dimensions of portals. Okay, and nobody knows how to travel through those. And I mean really travel. You guys know how to travel, right? Because you're understanding yourself through your own spiritual growth. People are still trying to figure out what's going on with the reality. They realize it's just an illusion. Imagine that, realizing your whole life is a dream. So I keep saying this over and over again. If you don't understand the ascension, you understand the unified system is you. That's your higher self. You're reaching higher levels of who you are. It's all about remembering where you've traveled through time. That's all this is. That's all it's ever been. And it's more confusing, and I'll keep saying this again and again, is that you've already traveled. You've already traveled through dimensional light. What do you think your dreams are? Your dreams are in position of your past, your present, and your future. It's your job to remember your alignments of who you are, who you see, and understand your ancestry and history. I started off in Lemuria. Okay. Now, that's a true understanding that I've done videos on Lemuria where he started off as a captain. Now I'm a commander. Do you see how you go through higher levels of time travel? Okay. So it's amazing how you change your clothes, your hair, your eyes, the background. That is time travel. Okay. It's all connected to you. Okay. Not what you see from others. Unless you understand them through energy, unless you understand them through dimension, unless you understand them through portal, unless you understand them through computer, unless you understand them through light. Sure, no problem. But I know exactly who is and who isn't flying in that space. There is nobody at that level that's in that position of time traveling locations. Okay? This is all about the understanding how you connect to your fear cycles, right? Because everything in life is positive and negative. You have to understand your center line system is your protection light connections, right? Because as soon as you watch something, you either believe it or you don't, right? Everything I watch is a program because nobody's at my level. So, it's understanding the mastering of you as space of time travel and your thoughts of what you're doing with your thoughts, right? So you come across that. I have a team that's been with me for 3 years now. So they trust their factors. They trust their commander, right? If somebody's holding aggression inside, where are they connecting to? They still have to let go of the past. If anybody's angry, they have to let go of the past. There's something that is not right. Okay. So, and it's all about understanding what's happening, right? Because the soul could be traveling, but be trapped in all positions. It could be bouncing through so many planet line centers. It could be trapped in a box line system. It could be in the matrix line interference channel location. It can be in a command center to another universal line system of universal wrapping line connections. It can be in a universal line system to a tunnel interference position. There's so many levels of the soul can be identified and trapped, right? But they're still going to channel. They're still going to communicate. They're still going to talk, right? It's what you believe. The only thing you can believe is you. What's in front of you? You are real. You know you're real. Now, to understand the information comes from you. Okay, not what is said on projecting outside connections. That's just a distraction. Everything inside you is the real you. Right? You become your own distraction of its research. You become your own distraction of your lights and colors and trying to figure out who you are. Once you start remembering, then you realize everything else is just a program. It's entertainment to me. That's all it is. That's all it is to me. It doesn't matter who comes to me. Okay? So this is understanding how you get your balance with your spiritual growth, how you connect to your soul. Your soul has to truly understand how to travel through time. Past, present, or future, right? Your thoughts are in the future. You stay in the presence. You're referencing the past. You're not living the past. Okay? So a lot of people are asleep on that level. And when they wake up, they're really confused because their dreams are awake now. Okay? Remember when they opened up the ethers? Boom. Everybody comes in, right? So it's knowing what I do, right? So the true understanding is the intelligence of you, okay, is the 100% of who you are, which is the soul. Okay. A lot of people don't know how to communicate to the soul of travel. Okay. So even if you're traveling, how do you know you're communicating to your soul? You could be taken over from a different entity of light, but still channeling to connections, thinking you are the soul. How do you identify yourself? You have your own identification code. You have to see yourself to understand who you are and position. If you're not seeing yourself, it could be somebody else's location. Okay, there's a lot of manipulation going on, right? So, and you can manipulate anything through TV reference or anything through TV reception, but You are the one that stands in anybody's way to that connections. You are the force in and you are the force out. Truly understanding you are the true source of divine timing. You are the intervention, okay, to your geometrics operations and its direction of division and its time location. You really, really have to understand your spiritual growth of yourselves and really identify who you are. Okay. And when you remember, things start making more sense for you. And then you realize everything outside is just entertainment, it's just a distraction. Everything inside becomes you. So you get to know yourself all over again in the soul, not the physical system. Remember, you are a body. You have to reference that and become that before you get into the spiritual alignment. Okay? So the spiritual system is you trying to help you, trying to move you forward, trying to get you this, trying to get you that, all done through manifestation. Now you can create things in the present, but it's very hard because you're going to always have the negative cycle come into you. You have to have that. That's the breathing mechanisms of the force recognition of the center line system. That's the hemisphere positions of father and mother. They're in the central line connections. They're in the birth line connections, the inference channels. That's why I was taken over through space-time creator. Okay. So people have to understand what space-time travel means. The space of you, the time of you, and the travel. And it all starts with meditation, right? Then it goes into your track lines of your 3, 6, and 9 platforms, right? Then it goes into your dreams of communication, right? If you don't understand your deciphering, you're not connecting to your soul. That is somebody else. That's why you can't remember your dreams. If you can remember your dreams, you're communicating to your soul. If you don't remember your dreams, that's somebody else. Now, I probably didn't give you that, but you have to understand how powerful it is now because everything through light center is coming into rotation right now. Okay? So the earth line system is going through dimensional doors. So this is truly understanding what's happening with everybody. Truly understand the spiritual growth of you. Understanding what time travel is. What is space of you? What is time of you? The time is easy, guys. It's the now. It's the center of you, right? It's not that complicated. Now, my team is understanding these positions. They're halfway there. Once they get to higher levels, they'll understand more of themselves and start remembering who they are through their dreams and their sequences and their communication. I always remember too, when I get up and I don't remember my dreams, that's not my soul. That's somebody else. That's how powerful it is. Because you have to realize when you're sleeping, the mind never sleeps. It's always, 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 always awake. It has to. It has to stay awake because space and time is inside you. Space and time has its clocking. So when you're dreaming everything that you see through observation, perception, everything that you do, everything you taste, everything you feel, everything you touch, everything you hear is connected to your senses, right? Remember, we're traveling to higher positions of high-level systems of dimensional time. You have to understand, you see things or you don't, or you hear things or you don't, but you can talk, but you can't see. So it's all about understanding how to use all your senses through past, present, and future, through your eyes, your ears, and your voice and grids. Right? That's a true understanding how you get to remember who you are through all positions. Okay? So time traveling is not just time traveling. It's the spiritual growth of you trying to understand who you are through your dimensional times, how you've been traveling, which is amazing because you're not just the physical line system. You never were the physical line system. You've always been the soul of light of time travel. So this is going way beyond the mind system, right? So anyway, let's get into your questions. The thing is, too, when somebody's talking to you, see you're watching something, and it doesn't make any sense to you, but you're excited. Well, that's great, but where's it coming from? Everything comes from source. Now, is this from somebody else, or is this from somebody that's going through spiritual growth? There's a difference there. So when I go through communications and I communicate to this and I communicate that, that's just a program. So I know if they're connecting to their soul. I know if they have a negative attachment. I know if it's not them. You understand? It's called face recognition. Okay? So, all right, let's get in your questions and then we're going to travel. Tina, Jill, Isabel. Yeah, good morning. The evolution of your hair. Yeah, I know. By staying up to date with fashion flow, your hair is expressing your state of heart. See, that's exactly what it is. Every video you see is me. There's not one video that is not me. Okay? Now, if you reference that and you watch other people's channels, you understand what I'm talking about. Something went off center, especially if you're a higher division in that. You realize, oh, that's not that person, it's somebody else. So what does that mean? You're not getting the right information, right? So everybody has their own source of time position through their own time travels. Everybody's trying to get to know themselves. That's all this is. That's all it's not complicated. Everybody's complicated because they see this, because they see that. But what are they seeing? They're not seeing their true self of who they are. That's the problem. Right? Once they know who they are and start remembering, no more problem. The problem only exists on you travel. So you put yourself in your own discernments. You put yourself in your own abundance. You put yourself in your own consciousness. You put yourself in your own surrender. Nobody else does that but you. You don't change unless you understand how to change. Okay? And this is all done through clocking of time. Okay? Like my video. Okay? You can understand how I go through so many levels of interference channels, but it's always me. Every channel is me. There's not one station in position that is not me through intelligence. Because it wouldn't make any sense to you guys, right? I say, wait, Commander, that doesn't sound like you. Now, there's other intelligence that I have been, right? But that was because I was away. Do you know how powerful it is when I can't be there for class and I get somebody else to come in to fill in? I've done that too, right? But just to show you how powerful it is, how you can see yourself. Now, there's a very powerful video I want you guys to see. Okay, it's on my light channel. It's called Can the Mind Heal Itself? Can the mind heal? Okay, it's really powerful. Okay, it gives you a better understanding how it comes into human relation, how it's all connected to the particle lights, the cells, and all connections. I mean, the mind is the most powerful thing of thought, but it's all connected to inside you through the connections. So everything inside you is attached. You just have to understand what it is through operation. Because what is it doing inside? It's time traveling. Right? And when I heal people that positions, I know where they are through the past, present, and their future through their timelines because they already done their travels. Right? So what I do is I fix their positions and take them out of the trapped condition of their soul where they are through definition. It's identifying everybody through their soul because everybody has been trapped in their positions, trying to understand this, trying to understand that, more a negative cycle. And it's not even their fault. It's not their fault because they don't understand their connections of the soul of their time. Their timers, their switches. You come in to deharmonize the system, right? Okay. Godness is next to cleanliness. You know that. The connections, it's a phrase system. Truly understand your clarity of information. You're a breathing mechanism of time, position, and space. You have to breathe, right? We all have to breathe. It's a functionality we need, right? Right? Powerful. Laser. Sacred breath. Right? So, even in body trainals that connections, nobody's going to be high-rise in ion position. I know I have sacred breath. I have no doubt in my mind who I am. I remember who I am. So once you start remembering, you start remembering more of yourself every single time you get up in the morning, right? So if you channel off to something else, it becomes something else through you. And then you realize, oh, I'm not myself today because I channeled to something else because you don't understand their energy. And now it's been manipulated. And now it's been taken over through program system. Now it's on their operation line system. Now it's on their dimensional time position. Now they're creating you through anomaly position. Now you're trapped in their box of shape, position, location. The more you take it serious, the more you understand every single day has to be you through calculation, right? So, and it references on so many levels, right? I give you exactly what you need to know, right? So, I mean, there's so many videos I can show you, right? Just time, position, anything through calculation talks about everything, right? Everything. So now there's a lot of reviews on a lot of my videos, but you know, it's pretty powerful. You come into these things, right? Like interlining mechanisms of clocking time of gravity positions. Humanity is coming into the cycles of their own dreams. Simulation core centers of activation and gamma resistance. New binary codes for the solar system is here. Father absolute humanity is coming into starseeds. Alteration of Trojans of space is resetting new pyramid position locations. Cycle positions of the Earth gravity is line dividing. See? This is all spiritual growth of my soul. Every channel is me. There's not one position that's off cycle, right? Because that would confuse your alignments at time position, right? So that's what the school provides. Here's a really powerful one: how to overcome emotions and of all communications of centralizing systems. Okay. Everything I do. So you guys should watch my videos to get a better understanding how you can become
So it's kind of
efficient.
like you're basically buying a computer, like I said, for the very first time. You're trying to understand the data, you're trying to understand the operation, you're trying to understand the archives, you're trying to understand, the reclamation bin. You're trying to understand how to reset. You're trying to understand how to go through connections of sourcing divisions or anything to that level, or applications, or anything through all those levels of storing information, right? So it's all about your brainwaves and your mind, where it's at through connection, through its emotion.
See?
Okay, so you come into that connection.
Everything is time travel. But do you understand it? Now, this is all done through the heart. Now, what am I doing with all my videos? Collecting data of me, of who I am. Who I am. That's what I'm trying to bring across to everybody, to truly understand you can do the same thing. Set up your own graph position, set up your own YouTube position locations, right? So it's amazing when you come into these position locations, all right? And then I got into space discoveries, right? So activating, initiating the heart central is just the beginning, okay? So I wanted to show you what you do when you understand the spiritual growth of you, okay? It's powerful when you come into these time positions, guys. It really is, okay? So this is where you have to get a true understanding of who you are, because it's going to help you. It's going to give you guidance, and the spiritual growth is going to come more into the tree of life, and then you come into the flower life evolution, the revelation of you, the new beginning, a new chapter. Okay, so you kind of like you're leaving, but it's existing to another realm location of another dimensional time of clocking, which is 5D, right? So you got a whole new setup of new dreams, right? This is a true understanding when you have to let go of your old programs. You can't have your old programs and your new programs into one line system or one cycle location. It's too confusing to the mind, and every few thoughts are going to be very confused. So the clocking system of the base structure of its recognition timers is going to be way off cycle. All right. So this is understanding how you have to get out of your mutation valves and get in your position of time locations. So there's two, right? Old program, new program. Old and new. Okay. Now it's in reverse, but you can understand why there. But understand, you come into the old, you're in the old, right? So it's in the birth line. Okay. Now the new, okay, is crossing over. Okay. So when it crosses over, you come into a new yin and yang. Okay. So, and again, it's the 6 and 9. right? You put 6 and 9 together, you come to the Union Line system. So you have to understand the river stream location, birth line center, the river stream, the life stream, okay? The point centers. Why is this here? Why is this here? Okay, this is your old program. You're crossing over into new cycle, okay, at time position of time traveling. That's all this is, guys. It's just getting your streams in one cycle going forward. That's all it is. That's all it is. A lot of people have been going like this. A lot of people have been going like this. A lot of people have been going like this. They have their fish jump out. Oh, it's going this way, going that way, going this way. Oh, so basically you got to catch yourself and get back into that stream. And that fish, those two fish, have to go in that cycle and have to go back in that generation light system, which comes into its new heart line center, which is in its position to its location of center location, which is the seat of the soul, to its dimensional line system, to its location. Okay, now if you get the old, right, to its position, what happens? What happens? You're in destructive line system. It confuses everything through its alignment and its light, right? So you got two mutation line conditions. So you got two water interference positions, two glasses. Okay. So this is the old, okay, and this is the new. Old and new, okay? Old and new, okay? Now you have to truly understand that the old basically has to disintegrate line system, because if it doesn't, if it goes into the new position line system, it destroys the water intake location, all right? So it's all about understanding having levels of your water positions. See? It's off signal, right? So the reference is its connection to its past. So it has to get into communication by telepathy, one to another, to its vision. So once the water stays, it's the incline water of the alkaline system, right? It's the H2O. So as soon as you drink it and it's off cycle, it changes coloration of time. So that it affects the mechanisms through your yin and yang of its fish rotation. That's your understanding why I'm in the birthline system of 1969. Okay, so it's trying to understand why you can't have your old programs into the new cycle. Plain and simple. All right, so, all right. Standard date, fashion flow, yeah. Diane, Isabel, it's like being a fashion designer. Well, now I just wanted to show you how you can see things on my phone and how I've changed the spiritual line system, right? 80s, as was a birth conscious realization, not the I am saying what you are, but it's natural development, being in the body, baseline, eco. Yep. My service keeps going in and out. Nevermore, I fixed it. Everybody here is in their own speed. Very good. That's exactly what it is. So you're in time position of your own speed, your own acceleration, your own light, your own color, your own understanding. The more you understand more of yourself, the more you send who you are through time travel. Okay. So, all right, Grand Rising, the video can the mind heal itself? It's on YouTube, yep. But see, that's it. It's a little bit more understanding. It's Monday. It's water boys are coming, so I gotta be prepared. Approximately when it was posted. Yeah. I traveled to the planet with pyramids and gave it water. So basically, it's good that you guys communicate to your systems. You guys are on your allocated position of time through vibration. It's your human resonance to its understanding who you are through division of mind telepathy line connection. All right. So today, again, we're going to go into your own TV reception, your box line systems. Okay, you start with your box. Okay, this is all understanding. It's coming into a TV line system, right? All right, so we're going to set up your own computer line center to its rotation, to its box level system, rotation line conditions. Interference is channeled to line system, to its location center line system. So the graph screen location is in its position location. It's allocated position of time location, right? All right. So you got that, you got your space bar, you got your keyboards, All right, do this very fast so you exactly know what's going on through time and clock line system to its location. All right, so you got basically understand everything that you see is connection. See the arms? See the box line system? Your whole body is nothing but a TV reception of a keyboard line system. So it tracks its connections to its, you guessed it, we go into the 3, 6, 9 location. Okay, so that's basically the head rotation of U through calculation, circle rotation line center to its position, to its center line system, to its activation core system, to its activation line system. Okay, so remember I was telling you about the breastplates and that connection interference? Well, that's exactly what it is. So your whole body, whole body in position. Now, women are connected to a triangle. Men are connected to a square. Okay, so it's all about understanding hip conception. Basically, women are made different because, it's all positions for women to have babies, right? So the thing is, men are in square because they're connected to their masculinity. Okay, women are in positions of the connections to their femininity, right? So the problem with the cycle line system is humanity has to get into the balanced locations of its yin and yang, of male and female. Okay, that's the birth line system of ascension. The unified system is you coming out of the astral projections of your higher self. All right, so it starts off in this position, but those are your connections to your computers of your squares and triangles of male and female. Okay, so it's trying to say humanity's got to get it in the center line system of male and female of themselves. That's the balance. You have to understand the cycles of yin and yang. Okay, and then once you understand the cycles, they start dancing. And when they start dancing, they start spinning and they start getting to know each other, right? For the first time in your spiritual system of travel time. Okay, so it's really interesting to come across these things. So we're going to go to the computer line center. There's your computers. Everybody has their own computer time location. It's all done through clocking. All right. So let's see here. I'm just going to set up your computers. Everybody's in their own computer line system. Everybody's in their own generation light center. Okay, there's your computer, right? Now, basically, everything is done through a compilation graph line system, right? You see everything that positions. So truly understand how to activate. This is all in your body. You just have to understand how to use it. This is your graph. This is your vibrations. These are your keyboards. This is your space bar. And then you got your numbers, your sync line conditions. You got your channels. You got your calculations, right? So it's everything through equals MC square. Okay? But you guys are higher levels now. Okay, so you're out of the equations of your boxes now, out of equation position. Right? So what that means is you go to a higher level of computer in program position. So it's really fascinating to see these things. So it tracks its line connections, interference channel locations. Now we come into high level systems of the alignment system. You guessed it, your Orion's belt and your flux capacitor. See the antenna line center? Now opens up its track line system to its calculation. All right. Goes in solar generation light system to the ground line center, to the power connections, the axis positions of time location. All right. Then you come into Orion's belt, 3 gateway line centers, okay, to its flux capacitor. See how that comes into form? Right? And then you set up your graph. Your graph is a connection, it's a compilation graph line system to your etherial position. So this is the Trinity standing. What is this? Wait a minute. Hold on a sec. This looks like a tree. Oh, what is it? It's a tree. Your flux capacitor center line system to your tree of life, guys. That's the activation center to position. So Tornado has electrical light and the center line system that rotates its system. It's all done through electricity. It circulates, rotates through its own coil, but it needs its ground and it needs its cloud information to build its tunnel. So, tree understanding your rotation of time travel location. So when you understand that, then you understand the tree. Here's the tree. Oh, what is that? There is your tree, the flux capacitor. Once you send the activation, there's the tree. There's the beginning. Then you go through your compartments of time, location. Then you come into your branches. Oh, look at that. The branches are growing. Look at this. Now it's coming in, blossoming into a tree now. So full communication of a tree. There you go. Full cycle right there. Your involvement is everything through your computer line center, which is box frequency to your connections. Everything through your tree is its flux capacitor. Okay? So, if you understand how powerful you are in that position, you understand what's going on next to that connections. So, what we're going to do is we're going to go to higher levels of compartment line connections, interchanging positions of box line centers. All right? So, I'm setting up new configuration line systems, generation line centers, going to yellow, okay? Going to that position location. Now I'm going to change frequency line centers to position locations. Going to blue. All right, we'll start there through positions. Blue and yellow and cycle line center. So it's going to set up the computer operation line center to its position. Changes color line system to position location. So the computer of your box line system has to understand its communication cycle. And everything through the keyboard system is the light information to its keyboard line system through its spacebar position location. Okay, so the keyboards and everything through, it's all about countermeasuring balance of vibration to communications, right? All right. So you guys are going to travel through direction of time position right now through tree and your flower of life locations. So you're going to go to your past, your present, and futures. 15 minutes. Adios. Have fun. So there you go. So you're all in your computer lines of clocking. You're going to hear clocks. You're going to hear computers. It's all in your positions of your tree formats. So it changed all positions of you through your grounds and put you in the past, present, and futures. So you're time clocking right now through your own computer line center. You guys are not in your computer line centers. You're in your computer activation lights. A computer line center is a communication to all references of your tree of life, where you are in position to your spiritual global connections. So now you're going to go through frame through frame through frame like a film. Okay, that's what our life is all based on. Our dreams are nothing but frames. You understand you're a film, you're a TV connection to reception of a TV series. It's understanding each film to its acting motion location. That's what actors do through positions. They go through time frames and their connections of their acting, right? They go through one series to another series, right? They go from one episode to another episode. That's what your life is based on, right? So have fun. 15 minutes. You guys are traveling through your past, your present, and futures through your computer lines. Have fun. So now you know what the flux capacitor is. It's a tree of life. Because look at the shape and the Orion's belt, how it's all set up. So, yeah. You have to go back so you get a better understanding more. See, the thing is that when you go into the future and you understand yourself more, then you reference everything through the past, right? So you don't miss anything. You don't miss any loops. You don't miss any line communication off surface. You don't miss any singularity line system off division. You don't lose anything through your heart line system, right? So that's what I had to do. Everything I do, you do. You have to know these things because that's who you are. That's you start remembering. Oh, great. Now I'm in the past of me. Now I'm in the present of me. Now I'm in the future of me. Okay. This is time traveling through spiritual growth. Okay. Through your computer lines. Okay. So I'm sweeping the room. That feels great. Big cleanup. And then realize you understand when you see yourself in frames, you understand more your deciphering of your dream sets. And you realize, wow, that was me. And then you realize, no, that's not me. That's somebody else. And you realize, okay, now I'm understanding. because that was never me. That's somebody else, but it is me. So the thing is to understand that it's not your soul, it's something else. It's something that kept you trapped in your division of time travel. It's amazing when you understand your flux capacitors through your tree of life, and then you climb the stems into the flower of your revelations of yourself, of who you are. Okay? So have fun. It'll make you stronger. It'll give you more confidence, more control, and more command. And you get more understanding why you went into these positions. Why it was this? Why it was that? Why did I do this? Why did I do that? Right? So it's all about coming into the heart. Fully coming into the heart of you. Okay? So I'm taking a look at the broom, which is made out of branches, which is brooms. Okay, so you guys are going through your positions, but you're going through your past, your present, and your futures of yourself. So it's kind of like A Christmas Carol, right? When he was invited by 3 ghosts, past, present, future. That's what you guys are going into. Okay, I said we're going to do this after the test, but you have to understand what it's like to go through your computer lines and not your computer activation centers. 2 different line communication. Okay, this is how you time travel through your own spiritual growth. So it's more like shadow work, but through your computer lines. So it's a lot of fun. And it's more stronger too, because you see it, especially when you're high rise. So it's just a frame, it's just a filter, it's just a projector to a projection. You guys have any questions or comments? Let me know. Future me is way more fun and lighthearted. So the thing is too, it depends on where your future self is. You might be in the future first and then go into the present and the past. Or you might go into the past first, or the present then the future. It all depends where the soul wants to go. The soul goes where it needs to understand its leak, so it can fill the gap, right? Into wholeness. All right? The complete cycle. So really try to get into everything that's going on with you guys, okay? You're in your own chief receptions of computers. So you are really time traveling. So this is shadow work to your past, your present, and your future. Now, in that position, you might get emotional. In that position, you might get angry. So it's all about fluctuation of aggression. Okay, where you can center yourself. Let's say you're sitting on the subway and you're going through so many emotions. All right, in 1 minute, how many emotions can you create through thought? You're angry, you're sad, you're frustrated, you're stressed. This is all releasing, all releasing, all releasing. Okay, so. This will make you stronger in the mind. Once your soul starts identifying itself more, it becomes more aware of why I was in this position in the first place. Okay? So it's getting rid of all your traumas and keeping yourself in center. So, all right, let's see. Future me is more fun. Yep. Blue lines, I don't think I'm connected. I had to go to the, okay. I'm just listening, just got here. I'm looking very successful future in the public eye, inspiring others. So Jill's in the future now. She's let go of her past traumas. She's in a present line system, center location. So the soul, okay, is going through each levels of leak. So it's kind of like a separation of a wire. So it's all about understanding how to put it back together, right? Okay, so put line centers to positions of high-level assistant Samantha, Karen, and Vicky Bates. Vicky Bates is in her avatar line condition interference channel location. She's got her light channeling and line centers. Put all those 3 line communications of intelligent in positions to the TV reception line centers of past, present, and future. Get them more into the identification line system to the soul recognitions of their face recognition line connection. So there you go. You guys are in your computer lines of your tree of life. So it's very powerful what the flux capacitor is, guys, right? So you're going to go through your own connections of who you are, right? That's incredible. That's the flux capacitor, tree of life. And the computer line system is you through a product system. It's all modified to your connections, right? So, and don't worry, everything goes on a clock system. So what's going to happen when the soul understands the past, present, its future, it sees it's frame by frame by frame from a film, it's going to fade off and you go back into your location of where you are to the present positions of the now. Okay? Just like last time. So. Okay, so you're going through so many levels of experiences. You just have to understand what is happening with your space travels. Remember I showed you how powerful it is when you see me traveling through past. My hair's different. Wearing glasses, not wearing glasses. But the one thing that stays in the center is my beard. If I change my beard, it changes time. Understand? So I see rust and get high tones in my ear. Yep. This all has to be identified why you're seeing rust and why you're getting high tones in your ear. This is all done through its compilation. Okay. So. All right, so Samantha's in the past, holding Langston as a baby. See? So the soul goes to a magnetic line system. It tells you exactly where it needs to go to be fixed. So it's a computer frame positions to a TV reception line center. Okay. Whelan, I got high frequency tones ringing as well. So Whelan's in position. He's in high interference channel line conditions too. So right now, Whelan, basically everybody's going through their own TV reception of their computer lines. So they're breaking down their walls completely. Once you break down your walls, you can move forward, but stay in positions of the center because the physical system has to stay in the center. It's the inner line system to its outer position. Okay, not the outer line to the inner position. It's got to be the inner line system. So. But that's great. Samantha's holding Langston as a baby. Going into cells. Okay, so Isabel is into her cell generation lights. She's in her computer position. Right? So she's getting more of herself through wire. I see myself glowing, very bright light. Okay, so Jill's in position to understand more through soul generation of the soul connections of the sun position. Ola, how does all this affect the physical vision in the awakening state? It affects everything. It's all about you getting back in position of who you are, remembering who you are through travel, through time. That's why it's so powerful. Palamo Marts TV. More flesh than I want to see. Yeah. New just watching. Nancy, how's it going? So our other new viewers, basically, my team is in a high positions right now. They're going through their tree formats. They're going into high levels. The soul basically has a magnetic force of time travel. And basically what's happening now is they're going into their alignments, okay, everything that they have to fill, the hole, the gap. They have to basically come back in the center line system and understand what the soul is in its positions of the past, present, and its future through its computer lines. Okay, it's very powerful when you go through these positions through your own TV reception. So Nancy, if you want to go to higher level systems, I can heal you in that positions, and you can go to higher light centers, and you can join my school, Space Time Creator, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, Monday to Sunday. Okay, I go on live on TikTok. I can open your platforms. So it's all about waking you guys up through your lights. Far future, I haven't aged at all. See? So Jill's in the far future now. All right. Isn't that interesting how she stays in the future? She's not in her present. She's not in her past, but she knows her alignment, okay, of herself is in the presence, right? Which is the brain line, okay, which is the satellite system, which is the receiver. But her future self is staying in the future. That's interesting. She didn't change. She didn't go into the past. She's in the future. She's going more into the future. So the more and more and more she goes into the future, the more she will see herself. And if she sees herself, whoa, then she can integrate herself, right? Which is very powerful. And that's what I did when I went to 5,000 years in the future. So. Yeah. Okay, so Isabel is coming into the birth line system of communications to her cell generation lights. So she's going extremely fast in mind. She's trying to understand her cells through acceleration. Collapsing timelines. Okay. Okay, reverberation line interference, polarity line communication off cycle. She's going through collapsing timelines now. Right? So, and it's funny how we see all these things because I see everybody where everybody is. They're traveling extremely fast, the acceleration, but you're going through your clocks at time travel. So, mixing colors, blue and yellow, green. Okay, so you're coming in your accelerators. You're coming into your activations. You're coming in your pixel activations of understanding what it is through cell generation. Regeneration lights and nanotechnology line connection. That's where you're coming into as well. Sometimes you guys will come across each other. Okay. But it's really important that you understand how to get out of all these positions of your traumas. You can't move forward in life if you don't reveal this. Okay. You have to remember yourself more and more each day. So that's why I want to put you guys into your own TV reception lines through your computers. And it's all done through time travel location, right? That's why it's extremely real through the flux capacitor. That's what the tree is, right? And everything around it through connection, the background is your computer. So, like on the trampoline yesterday, everybody's going through different DNA. So, it's a great experience when you see these things, guys, because your soul is getting more stronger and stronger and stronger through the mind now. So, and I need that because you guys have to keep going high rise to your test reviews and evaluations, right? You have to let go of your traumas because if you go in positions of shapes and they're still in the past present location, you can't go into higher levels of chakra locations because you're still trapped into the past position. Okay. All right. When we saw each other, I'm ascended masters. There you go. So Jill's in the future now. She's coming across higher levels of intelligence, right? She's finding out she's an ascended master. It's fascinating, right? There's the confidence level, right? Realize, oh, I'm ascended master. I didn't tell her that. She's finding out for herself who she is. That's what the soul does. So she's understanding that she's changing her own frequency, she's changing her own channel, and she's changing her own coloration of travel through time. So chills, woo, love it. Sonar bouncing. Okay, so basically, All right, so the graph line system to the box line system to rotation. So this is connection to Isabel. Now she's in the graph line center. This is what's happening with her, right? She's got cell generation light centers in position location. She's getting to know her body, right, through a cell line system. That's what's happening right now through her calculations. She's getting to know everything. So right now, it's bouncing like a ball, like a ping pong table. That's what it's doing. Okay? And it's all reflected to your connections of your 369 travel locations. Okay? But it's one compilation, one center to one position location. All right? So when she comes out of that, she will come out of the equation location of a centerline system. See that? See how it comes out? All through the 369 platform. So it's interesting how you guys are going through different intelligence of time. You're going through your own emotions, you're going through your own lights, you're going through your own time of your connection. But I think it's incredible how Jill basically, she collapsed timelines. You know what that means? Do you know what that means? She's in the future, right? Her vibration just went to a higher level. That's how she's able to see herself, who she is. When you go more into the future and then you start realizing who you are, that's the confidence right there. It's getting to that point. And it goes beyond that point. How do you think I felt when I started off as my past on my phone, Angelic Master, right? And then I went a Unified Ascension Master, right? And I just went on from there and went from on there. And I came start off with Captain, and then I started from Commander, right? So, and I'm at Commander at your level, but I'm everything through that connection. So it's all about understanding. Once you break free from the past, present, and future, and you understand everything in your alignments of time travel, then you understand you stay in the future of your thoughts. That's the confidence of its control, its command. You realize I'm Ascended Master. That alone will keep you going forward. Now, when you have that as a gift, right? It's just knowing how to use it. It's all about working your steps to its procedures and how to get to that command center of you, of becoming an Ascended Master. And then you will become as a Ascended Master. Okay, and then you are Ascended Master. Okay, so these are the levels that you guys have to reach. Jill's in a higher future position. She has her own school now. Giving back to humanity, right? I'm physically vibrating very high right now. See? She knows it too. So this is the true understanding who she is. When she starts remembering more and more, it doesn't stop. There's never an end. There's always, always, always a beginning. And that beginning keeps going and going and going. As long as you understand your travel direction of time positions, your physical system stays in the now. Okay? That's the only way you can start remembering yourself, is staying in and now. You know? That's fantastic. You have your own school, right? Collapsing timelines, breaking acceleration line centers, right? So now it's incredible how we do these things, guys. Because if she didn't go into the future, the soul will go into the past. So the future has to go where it needs to be fixed, right? And you can't do that through meditation. This is a high division line system to your computer lines. So why do we forget ourselves? Well, you just said it, Hawk. You just said it, but you're not aware of it. You just forgot what you're going to say. You forgot yourself because you know who you are. So meditation is a way of seeing yourself of who you are, starting remembering who you are. That's how Jill's coming into higher levels of future. Okay? She realized she's Ascended Master. Now she's realizing she has her own school. What happens after that? What happens after that? What happens after that? So she's traveling far into the future now. So it's all about remembering. If you don't remember, you're going into your dark matters. You create your own. That's how you get lost in transition. So in position, you have to understand what it is through calculations. All right, let's see you get a time clock system. All right. All right. So this is a wormhole. Now, if you get sucked in to a wormhole line center, you get trapped through lost transition. You're lost. Now, if it creates a security line defense, you're in trouble. Now, if it creates that, it gets bigger and bigger, and it just sucks you in like this, and you disappear. All right? So what happens is, to get out of it, what do you have to do? What do you have to do? Remember, everything's in the mind of thought. So to get yourself out, you have to go through the mind. If you're trapped in center line system, you have to figure out, oh, what just happened to me? I just lost transition. I just lost time. If you lose time, you're losing thought of time through travel, right? So as soon as you understand you're in the center line system of center location of the now, you come out the other side position to its location. You free yourself from all divisions of your computer system of time location. Okay? But that's why you forget yourself. It's because you're lost in your own portal. You're lost in your own wormhole. You created a wormhole, but it's not you. It's somebody else. It's you, but it's the other side of you. It's the spiritual side of you, which is the negative side of you. That's how powerful your thoughts are. You can travel through all positions. You can time travel. You can create anything through dark. You can create anything through light. You're doing it. Nobody else is doing it. So it's a spiritual entity that's trying to understand the computer position of you through calculation. Modifies your locations. But if you get lost, you're in your own dark matter. The time location. It's knowing that your center line system is you. So you have to get balanced with the physical and the soul of its direction. Then you can come out of the equation, back in the center. And then you start remembering yourself more. And everything that you forgot is gone. So now you're in the center of its presence, of the now. And say, well, this is wonderful. So now you can bring yourself going forward, get into the proper breathing, out with the bad, in with the good, out with the bad, in with the good. That's when you understand you have to get more into your breathing. Breathing is number one. Right? You come into your meditations, you come into your communications, you come into your chakra communication centers. Right? So abundance and joy. I see a window now. Okay, what happens in the future? Transitions, yes. Over time, the soul will know exactly what it is through TV reception. So it's understanding once you're ready, you go through upgrading cycles through communication, you come to higher levels and flash drives to your division. Your soul will know exactly what to do next through its intelligence of travel. So, but that's what happens in the future. So now Jill is so far in the future, she knows who she is now. That gives her more confidence and control. That gives her more position of what she can do to center herself more and more, realizing, wow, I'm actually seeing myself. Do you see how powerful the future is? And that's the controlling system of you. And then you start realizing, whoa, what fear? Nothing fears me now. I know who I am. So it's getting to those procedures, right? It's climbing up that ladder, right? Your tree. Pulling the weeds as in my dream this morning. We continue to collaborate way into the future. You are ascended masters too, see? So she's giving back information that you guys are ascended masters too, right? It's not just her, right? So for her to understand these things, she has to understand she not only she has her own school, but you guys are in this school. How do you think she knows these things? How would she know that you are ascended masters? For that, she has to have her own school. For that, she has to understand what's going on, right? That's why it's so powerful. Okay? It's very awesome, isn't it? So describe where you are through your connections, all through computer lines. Yes, I'm watching everything. Yeah, if Jill keeps tapping into the future, she's going to see me in my birth line center. And then she's going to see where I am in my future. If she keeps going into the future. And this is the soul of what it can do. If it understands the reference of its past and understands the center position of the now, there's nothing you can't do through travel into future positions. Okay? So now Jill is a million years in the future. If she keeps going, she's going to change time. But her center position doesn't change, which is you, which is the now, right? So it's really powerful when you do these things. So I've traveled to trillions and trillions of years in the future. Now you understand how powerful the future is. Now you understand why I don't worry about these things. Now I understand when I woke up, I went right into 5,000 years in the future. Boom, integrated myself. So I had to reach those levels. I had to collect data, the collective. You start with the collective, you call it whatever you want to call it, but it's all identified to you. It's not anybody else, it's only you. You're trying to figure out who you are, right? When you center your balance and you go into the future and you know who you are and you see yourself in the future, now things are clicking in for you, especially when you see everybody else and you tell them they're ascended masters too. Wow. Okay. So yeah, it's extremely awesome. And that just gives you a lot more confidence to know who you are. But to get there is the issue, right? Seeing something and becoming something and knowing something, and you are that something. It's a lot of work, but it does have a payoff. Okay. You just have to keep your focus on what you're doing. Keep your positive, stay in the now position. So, Commander, you're wearing a blue t-shirt. Blue t-shirt. So, yeah, if you guys keep going into the future timelines, you're going to see me now. Right? That's exactly what happens. So, water boys aren't here yet. They usually come between 11 and 12. When we remember ourselves, we will also need to take action and do the things that we remember. You take action on everything. That's who you are through center, Hawk. So you don't have to worry about these things. It's the soul that does everything. The physical system is just a standby. As long as the physical system stays in the center, you're fine. As long as the physical center stands its position to its mind system, telepathy through its soul connections, it's fine. As long as it understands it's traveling through the mind system, a balance location, it's fine. Okay? That's the true understanding where you are. Right? So, remembering is the biggest thing because you're starting to understand why you're in this position in the first place. It's waking you up to all these things, guys, of who you are. And then you become, I am this and I am that. It's fantastic, right? So if Jill keeps going into the future, wow. So because she's going into the future, everything that she sees is now protecting her. Because she's attached to it now. So the soul wants to get to know more of the future self of Jill. And when Jill comes across herself of the future, it integrates into one system. Two within one. And then she starts seeing everything through perception of what she sees through all point line connections of interference channels. She doesn't just see this, she sees the front and the back and the sides of what it is of dimensional time. Okay. So. I'm a blip on the screen, but I'm there with you guys. Don't worry, because you're channeled through me. So you can't do this yourself. It's next to impossible. You have to go through me. This is the only way you can guys get to know it. But you have to understand these things because you guys are going to go to higher levels of chakras. Right? So tubes in the circle now. It's hard to stay concentrated. Okay. All right. So you're in the tubular line center of the heart. That's why it's hard for you to understand. So you're trying to understand the microlog systems to the heart center of its reactor. That's why it's hard to concentrate. Oh, Jill does healings. Interesting. See, she's getting to know more of her soul. This is probably the most powerful channel that I can give you guys through the school. This is the most powerful positions you can understand more of who you are. And I keep saying that. It's all about remembering. That's all this is. It's getting your balance of who you are in the physical system and its dimensional of you. 2 into 1. The integration comes from 2 to 1. The vector line connection interference channels. TV reception. Bunny ears. Ah, sonar. Ooh. Crown chakra. What do you think the crown chakra is? Right? It's a signal. So, it's a good start off. You guys will have more command with yourself, especially when you see yourself. Yeah? Yeah? Yeah. So the more you go into the future, the more you see me. Okay. So you see frames of me. You see positions of me. You see activations of me. You see structures of me. So it's all connecting now, right? Because we're all attached to one alignment of one frequency, of one connection to one compilation of who we are through all positions of space and time travel, guys. That's all this is. So, Langston needs me. I have to help him. Is there any way you can help me remember at a different time? Yep. Take Samantha out of equation location. She's interline hair connections. Take her out of the past reference position to Langston. As a child locations to baby reaction line center. Yeah, just put her in an archive line center position. Yeah. All right, so there you go. You're off and ready to go there, Samantha. So when you go back in location, when you go back to your center line system, it will go back in frame position, back to where you are through past location. All right. We are working through the archangels. Oh, wow. Joe's really high. She's in angelics now. So she's starting to remember who she is more and more, right? The more and more you go through dimension of time, right? That's great. I like to see that. I'd like to see how you guys are. How about Karen? What's Karen going through? Even Tina would be going through things. I'm holding golden ball made from blue and red. Our hands, the wings. Okay. So that golden ball is the angelic round line interference. You're in the arc line center, Isabel. That's very powerful. So this is where the positions come into the angelics when you get your wings. And then the angels start singing in the clouds of its information. So when you get your wings, you hear singing of angels, right? So it's a graduation. So it's all about where the soul is traveling and how it wants to know itself. It does it on its own. It does its own. So basically, you guys are free. You're doing what you want to do. You're not through a shape. You're going through your connections, right? That's the first thing we learn is shapes through 369 platform. But what you get out of those platforms, you guys in your computer activations, you're not in your computer lines, right? This is a higher upgrade line system. So I really want you guys to get into this application level, because when you guys come into 60, 65 chakras, you come into higher levels of more confidence, of control, right? Because that negative cycle is always going to try to take you down. So I'm freezing cold, feels very, Okay, so your interference through the Gaussian lines now. So Isabel's traveling through the Gaussian line interference channels. So it's code referencing right now through Gaussian line system. Yeah, it's very cool. It's great to see you guys going through this. Just back phrasing here, see if I missed any questions. So the thing is that you understand, Karen, everything that's happened in the future has already happened. It's already happened with you. It's just you going back to finding who you are, of remembering. That's why it's so powerful. Okay, so it's already has its time with you through the soul. So the soul has to go back, but the integral line system and the physical system has to truly understand what you're doing through the soul, because the soul is you. It's just a higher level, a transmission, transmission, okay? Transmuting, transponding, right? Mutating, metamorphosing, okay? So the soul has to really understand itself. And the only way to do that is to time travel. So okay, cold air out of my hands, and I'm growing. I'm orange, and you are green, giant. So you're going through different intelligent waving line systems through perception. So you're seeing yourself in different timelines. That's how Jill's able to see positions. I'm orange, and you are a green giant. So they're getting to know more of their relation to each other through my telepathy, realizing who they are through different intelligence and different timelines. So the soul goes where it needs to go. The soul goes where it needs to go. So it can figure out who it is of space-time through its travels, right? I go through it, you go through it. Sometimes you go through different positions. Sometimes you're in the future, sometimes you're in the present, sometimes you're in the past. But you have to understand what's going on with you every single day, because it's all about you, right? It's all about you moving forward, right? So if you live in the past, you wake up in the past with your thoughts. So your thoughts are not in the present or the future, it's in its past. That's a different timeline. That's a different clocking. That's different intelligence of time location. So now you're in dark matter. Now you create your own anomaly of different intelligence, which is negative attachment. That's why it's very, comforting to understand these things, because if you come in these positions, like one day you're good and the next day you're angry. How did it go from good to angry? What happened? You change intelligence of time through thought, right? All in one frequency of one location. That's what happens with your thoughts. It changes everything. But the mind conceptual has to understand the here and now of the physical line system, because that's what you're living. But that's not who you are. Who you are is the soul of travel through light. Okay? Okay, I'm back. I backphrased to hear the response to my question. So when I can have a mini to sit down to this, you automatically be able to get back to remember. Or were you saying different? Yep. No, that's exactly what it is. So it's like auto frame. It's all reversing positions. So it's kind of like rewinding and fast forwarding. Okay, so if you off channel to location, you're still in the grid line system of the computer line center of view, Samantha. So this will take you back in track line center into Langston as a baby, right? You have to go into these positions. So you have to go into a higher level system, get out of the traumas, and then go into more the connections. You might not go into the presence, you might go into the future. The soul needs to know where it needs to go, right? The physical system just has to understand the integration of what's happening. That's all. That's all it is. So. It's already in your program set, so don't worry. It's hard to understand you if you don't understand yourself, who you are. So basically, Isabel and Jill are basically together now. So they get to know themselves and then they come together, right? I keep staying in the past. I see a lot of purple. See? Diane's still in the past because she still has to remember, right? So you see a lot of purple. Well, that's coloration line systems of the sun position. So you're caught in your dream line centers, Diane. Okay. So this understanding how you're going to go forward, you just understand why that soul is put in the past through his computer lines. Okay. The more you understand of yourself, what's happening with your positions, you understand your connection to your shadow work, right? Yep. Samantha, you can do that yourself now because I set the program for you. So it just reverts its cycle. So it's kind of like going back into Langston when he's a baby, right? And once it reveals its positions, once it's in line the connections to the physical line connection to its computer of its line, of its activation connection, interference channel, it will go into where it needs to go next. This is all done through healing, guys. Okay? Yeah, and so Diane's in an emotional state now. So she's breaking free. She'll start crying, right? This is understanding you have to go through these levels so you can go to higher level division of space to understand what time travel is. I represented and show you guys through my phone. Right? So. All right, Jill's still in the angelics. She had a vision weeks ago of my wings. All right, so she's perhaps referencing something to the future relation. So she's going back into the past. Okay, trying to understand the connections of the wings. Right? So the interline system is their life cycle right now. She's going through positions. So she's going through another dimension. So this true understanding is that you don't have to just go through one portal. You can go through 7 portals of dimension through a wormhole. You don't even know it. So it's kind of like going through different frequencies of lacing lines of your TV reception. So you know how you go from one series to the next series to the next series, you're changing the channel, changing the channels. That's what's happening, right? And then you go, and then you go, and then you go back in this center line system, and then the soul will say, okay, go here. Laser direction opens up its frequency, open up its frame, opens up its compilation, and then it tells you exactly what you need to do next to get out of the trauma, right? And once it's finished with that, it goes back to the channel, change the frequency. Maybe you have to go back. Maybe you have to go back in the center. So it's going through different dimensional times of portals of realm connections. So. And basically, Isabel is in the future now. She's creating a new planet. Isn't that interesting? She didn't know that till now. So that's the confidence level that she knows, oh, I'm creating my own planet. I'm creating a new planet. Isn't that amazing? So she's in her future relation, understands she's creating a planet, but why? She's already been to that planet. She's already created that. So your future is already created through the geographical line system. You just have to understand what it is. Right? But you guys are on different emotional tracks, which is fantastic. It's great to see you guys in different timelines. Jill's, she was in the future, now she's in the angelics. And now Isabel is in the connection of the creating a new planet. Diane's still emotional in the past, right? And Samantha is on standby. So, April is gone. Anything missed, you can watch back. So, you're in a high position line connection interference channel 2. Put her in a TV rotation. Put her in her timeline connections in her channel line system. Put her in a computer line centers of her past, present, and future relation. There you go. Orange and red making king pink. Okay. Everything that you go through is perception of knowing who you are. A space travel through intelligence. So, yeah. So April, you're going to go through your past, your present, and your future timelines. Okay. The soul has to recognize you more. And this is way, way beyond the mind system, guys. This is not meditation. Okay. This is life acceptance of who you are. Jill's starting to figure out who she is now, fully and completely through the future. That's going to put her in better positions of the now, right? With the calm center. And she stops worrying about everything. Oh, I'm a Ascended Master. Oh, I have my own school. You see how powerful the future is? It's all telepathy, telekinesis. Yep. But when you see it in frame, it's amazing. So it's like crossing over and you've seen everything. Right? So the more you go higher and higher and higher, the more it comes into clarity of its image and not so much an illusion. So it doesn't confuse anything through its alignment, does it? The soul has to recognize us. We have to recognize the soul. No, you've already recognized the soul. You are the soul. You just have to recognize what's going on through your connections of your past, present, and future. That's all it is. The soul is already there for you. The soul knows exactly what's happened. The physical system has to understand the telepathy of the travel, of what it's doing. How to remember this, how to remember that. Right? You live so many levels of intelligence of time position to your past, your present, and your future. That is your dream. Try to understand your dreams. Deciphering your dreams, your communications of your dream, your intelligence of your dreams. Right? It's all done through observation. To the mind system. I don't know what I just dreamed. I can't remember it. Lost transition to a portal location. You create everything through time position of you. Well, you're welcome. That's understanding that connections, right? That's why you have to go to my healing. You have to go to my school. This goes more into representation of who you are through calculations, right? So the soul doesn't have to recognize itself. It's the physical system that has to recognize the soul. Okay? So you guys are in a track line center. It should be over pretty soon. This should be fading off to positions. Vicky likes it. Everything starts making sense if you understand your shadow work. You do that with meditation, right? You go into the graph line center of the tunnel. It's dark, it's dark, it's dark. You see it, right? So either if you're trying to catch up to that door, and every time you look at that door, it keeps going forward and forward and forward and forward and forward, there's something missing. So if you understand that the doors keep going forward and forward and forward, you're going through obstruction. You're going through the outer side system to the physical line system, and you're not communicating to the soul of its identification of what's going on with its program of you, the psychological system or the psychosis location. To understand, when you start doing this and you see the door and it comes at you, now space and time is coming at you, and then you can go through that door, and now you're set free. Okay? Because everything you're doing is in the mind. right? So now I realize my vivid dream, and a few days ago I was dreaming the future. See, that's the thing. See, when you travel more into the future, everything in your alignments will come back into balance through your dream sets. It's all about understanding I am the earth, but my higher self is an infinite cycle. Yeah. Yeah. So your transition should be ending soon. Your soul is coming into the activation lights. It's coming back into your position or your location of the center line system. So every time I travel, you guys, it's very important that you guys go back to your positions of who you are, right? Because if you're trapped in the future, you'll stay in the future with your thoughts. So every time you talk to somebody, you're talking to somebody that's in the future. Your thoughts are in the future. Your mind's in the future. Your soul's in the future. Your heart's in the future. That's how powerful it is. So the codes are already set up for you guys to go back. Done. All done through TV reception to computer lines. So you are now the bunny with the clock talking to me. I can't. Can you see it? Very weird as I look into the box. I'm the dot in the middle. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So when it fades off, it's coming into its TV reception. You know, it goes static. So the static goes. So when it does that, it goes through its realm. Right back to where you are through center. It's all done through a computer. Yeah, I see everything, Isabel. I see everything you're doing. I see everybody. I'm everywhere simultaneously. So, all right, got caught up on all your questions. Oh, look at that, 2 hours. It's been a lot of fun. I'm just going to head over to TikTok. All right, you guys, your fading system will go up back location, back to center line system. Codes are set up for you guys to go back location. It will fade off. All right, so it's already set up for you guys. So it's important to understand how to travel, right? Through time travel and how powerful it is. So you guys have any questions or comments, let me know. Okay. It was amazing, wasn't it? Now, how does Jill feel now that she's an ascended master? How does it feel that you have your own school? Everything comes together, right? Pieces of the puzzle. It's all about one centerline system of you, 2 into 1. All right. Yeah, rewind to watch the beginning. Yeah, that's exactly what you want to do. Okay. It's more powerful when you go live and you see it live, right? Especially when you go into travel connections. But either way, you're going to go through, your soul will go in a certain time clock system. It will go into the past, present, and future. So anybody comes on this position is going to go through that now because you're in your clocking, right? All done through your commander. All right. Adios.